I'm not here to complain. I just want to get it fixed. I don't foods.
Just a number. It makes it look like it's fine.
I don't know the fuck they think they play with. I don't play no motherfucking games. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. Don't play no motherfucking games. Okay, let's go. Watch out.
What do you get when two generations of boxing greatness unexpectedly collide? Not inside a sold-out arena, but in the middle of Dubai International Airport. Absolute madness. Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr., two men who ruled different eras, crossed paths in a setting no one saw coming. And instead of mutual respect, things escalated fast. Crawford threw a punch at Mayweather in the airport. The clip has already sent shockwaves through the boxing community. But this wasn't just a random airport altercation. This moment connects directly to Floyd's rumored return to professional boxing, his exhibition with Mike Tyson, and the never-ending argument over who truly deserves the greatest of all time title, Crawford or Mayweather.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah.
Let's break down how it unfolded. What sparked the confrontation? Did Floyd push the buttons first? Why does Canelo Alvarez keep being dragged into the narrative? And could this chaotic moment actually ignite one of the biggest fights boxing has ever seen?
Wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference.
According to eyewitnesses, the tension was immediate. Floyd was gliding through the VIP lounge at Dubai Airport, flanked by his team, carrying that familiar undefeated confidence. By coincidence or fate, Crawford was there too, fresh off the momentum of his stunning victory over Canelo that reshaped the sports landscape. At first, it was just eye contact. Then words were exchanged. Floyd reportedly downplayed Crawford's win, brushing it off as overhyped. Bud, never one to bite his tongue, fired back. Voices rose. Crews stepped in. Security scrambled. And then bang. Crawford swung. Phones shot into the air. Travelers froze. Within minutes, footage was flooding social media. What started as a verbal clash spiraled into a full-blown spectacle, with teams shouting and security separating both camps before it spiraled further.
Oh, shit.
For real. Let it go.
This wasn't merely a scuffle between two fighters. It symbolized something bigger: pride, legacy, and control over boxing's throne.
I was excited to see Bud perform the way he performed against Canelo. I think boxing needed that fight. I think Bud showed up in the way he was supposed to. I think Canelo did as well, and the respect between the two men is what boxing is supposed to be. I can't talk about all the eras of boxing because I haven't seen them all, but I've seen Hagler Hearns. I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. Like I've seen all of those things, and those fights were wars. Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen. He's the most skilled boxer I've ever seen. Bud, and this is just my opinion, is the baddest man I've seen wear boxing gloves. And here's why I say that.
RC.
Here's why I say that. Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend. And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked, gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years, but no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their...
So why did Crawford react the way he did? Respect, or the absence of it? For years, Mayweather has dismissed comparisons. Whenever fans suggested Crawford could challenge him, Floyd brushed it aside, insisting his legacy was untouchable.
70 fights, 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically...
Then Crawford did what few believed possible. He defeated Canelo. That victory didn't just add another win to his resume. It reignited the all-time debate. Suddenly the question wasn't just who's best right now. It became, could Crawford surpass Mayweather's greatness?
The win over Canelo puts you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation.
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
And here's what likely hit Floyd hardest. Canelo, a man who shared the ring with both fighters, publicly praised Crawford. For years, Floyd's masterclass against Canelo stood as one of his proudest achievements. Now that same opponent was giving the nod to Bud. For a competitor like Mayweather, that had to sting.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
So when they met in Dubai, it wasn't just about a passing comment. It was about pride built over decades colliding in a single moment.
I feel like we done seen Crawford on his, have his best performance that he has ever had, versus Canelo. So it's like, whenever you try to compare Floyd's performance versus Crawford's performance, me personally, I believe that Crawford did a lot more. But if they both were to fight each other, if you would have put Floyd in his prime versus Crawford in his prime, who would y'all pick? For me personally, it would be so hard because I feel like they fight very similar.
Now here's where the plot thickens. Just days before the airport chaos, Floyd hinted in interviews that he's considering a legitimate return to professional boxing, not exhibitions disguised as sparring sessions. A real comeback. And the name floating around? Terence Crawford. It's the ultimate storyline. Yesterday's king versus today's ruler.
Yo, yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh, shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
From a strategic standpoint, it's fascinating. For Crawford, the risk is enormous. Beat Floyd, and critics claim he fought an aging legend. Lose, and the narrative becomes brutal. He couldn't defeat a 47-year-old icon. For Floyd, it's calculated. A loss gets excused by age. A win becomes historic.
Career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight, and that's what led him to be so great. You know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions. You know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight.
But before any super fight happens, Floyd has another task ahead, an exhibition with Mike Tyson.
Fight that fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to Mike Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to give the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an exciting event.
On paper, it's entertainment. Tyson is deep into his late 50s, while Floyd remains disciplined and in shape. Logic favors Mayweather.
Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the f is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this, or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money, and they're being promised a shit ton of money, But
Tyson only needs one clean shot. If Floyd were to get dropped, even in an exhibition, the Crawford showdown could evaporate overnight. Public demand would fade. Promoters would hesitate. The aura of invincibility would crack.
Fighting Floyd Mayweather, why the hell did he agree to fight you? That seems like a bad decision by him.
Well, listen, I was minding my business. I'm flying my birds, tending to my children, and he's the one. He came with the sign. His name was on the contract signed already, and he's talking really bad and nasty to me. And so I was like, God damn! I thought we were friends. He talking crazy. He's all right.
That's got to be such a cool thing for boxing fans, though, Mike, to have two of the all-time legends in there. Are you excited just to see the thing of that, like it was with you and Roy?
Nah, man, we want to get him, man. What you talking about? Start talking crazy, like kick his ass.
He doesn't know what he signed up for.
Yeah, I thought the exhibition. He's talking crazy.
So he's like, but Mike, come on, man. He can't be doing anything to you. Like, that's a bad decision by him.
Hey, he made a good money choice, though.
That's why the Tyson bout is more dangerous than it appears. It isn't about physical harm, it's about perception. Meanwhile, Crawford's legacy is already secure after conquering Canelo. He moved up, took risks, and defeated one of boxing's biggest stars.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence "Bud" Crawford.
He could walk away today and still be remembered as a fighter who challenged himself at every stage.
Like the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul, Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Facing Floyd now would be more about revenue than validation. Even a victory wouldn't silence the prime versus prime debate. that conversation would never end. Some insiders even suggest Crawford should ignore the call-outs entirely.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence.
Because while the fight is lucrative, it's also dangerous, not to his health, but to his standing in history.
I truly don't know the answer to that.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I
Floyd
love you, Terrence.
always figures it out.
Yeah,
he's
a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The
shit
funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terrence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody
though.
else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got a pioneer,
that you
right?
can't
Yeah,
out-figure
yeah,
out.
you gotta.
There's
yeah.
an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out.
Defeating a near 50-year-old Mayweather wouldn't eliminate doubters. Losing, however, could stain everything he's built. For Floyd, the gamble is minimal. For Crawford, it's enormous.
I like Canelo. This guy can do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fight.
That's why the airport punch matters. It may have been a split-second decision, but it could trigger something far bigger.
Well, gee, listen, man. Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing, except for Floyd fought a few times at 154. I'm not faulting Floyd for not fighting Triple G. I totally get it. I'm just saying that upper echelon, the reason why I will always have Sugar Ray Leonard over Floyd is the crazy, the insane part of it. What Terence Crawford is talking about doing, he ain't saying, let me meet Canelo at a catch weight. Canelo's undisputed there. Let me go get him.
That wraps up today's breakdown. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who really holds the crown? We'll see you in the next one.